And we're going to talk about Marty Walsh's comments about the Coyotes because that was circulating the internet. So for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, Marty Walsh is the head of the NHL Players Association.
Okay.
And he spoke.
Used to be the mayor of Boston. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know the mayor part.
He spoke this week, and I'll try and summarize his quotes because there's a lot, but he mentioned the Coyotes playing in a college arena. He said 5,100 fans go to that game, and they don't sell out, which that is...
It's actually 4,600, Marty, just so you know.
And that they do sell out, so that was a little strange. But he said those players are National Hockey League players. They deserve to play in a National Hockey League ring, so hopefully we can do that, etc. But he said, I am concerned. I was hoping they would be further along right now in what they're going to do next. We met with them. I was there at the end of the season. They had promised they were going to work on some stuff. Right now, it's just speculation. There's nothing concrete. We're at November 12th. The season's moving quickly. I'd like to see more action there. I mean, these are NHL hockey players. They should be playing in a good arena. Come up with a plan. We said if you come up with a plan, we could support it. But right now, there's been no plan, no conversation. So that, to me, is showing there's no urgency on their side. Craig?
First off, when did Gary Bettman tell us the All-Star break was the target date? When did he tell us that?
Like during the playoffs?
During the draft. We heard that at the NHL draft. So that deadline's been out there for a while. So to say, well, in November, it doesn't sound like they've done anything. I'm pretty sure they're not going to share the details of what's actually happening behind the scenes with Marty Walsh. Here's my take on this whole thing. I'm sure Marty Walsh is getting pressure from agents and players to put pressure on the Coyotes. I get it. So he's got to say something. Credit Marty Walsh with saying something, but I want to remind people who has the actual power here. It ain't the PA. The PA is utterly powerless to do anything about this. If you read Article 5 of the CBA, you'll find this out for yourself. You can look it up. This is all in the hands of the Board of Governors. So the PA, excuse me, the PA can posture all it wants. It can say all it wants. It's been posturing in the past, right? We've seen this before. They can't do anything. So honestly, it doesn't matter what Marty Walsh says. It matters what the Board of Governors thinks. That's all that matters. And again, we've had these deadlines set before. They have a letter of intent on one site. We're expecting some kind of announcement on another site within the next few weeks. And again, the All-Star break is when Gary Bettman has said he expects something substantive to be announced. So until we get to the All-Star break and don't have that announcement, chill the hell out, because they've laid out that deadline all along. If we get to that point and we don't have anything substantive, I'll be the first in line to say, what's going on? At that point, yeah, we should start casting a closer look on it. But they have let us know all along what the deadline is. So to me, this is a lot of hot air.
Yeah, and I think we've talked ad nauseum about the arena situation here on the show over the last 2.5 seasons. Fair?
Yep.
And I agree with some of that he has to say. Like, yes, get a building.
Yeah,
we all agree.
Say anything new.
We all agree that they need a new building. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody that follows and watches the team, they need a new building.
Yeah,
Agreed?
exactly. Newsflash. It's not a great idea to be playing in a 4,600 arena.
There's
Thanks.
not anybody that agrees with that, and up to and including ownership, management, players of this franchise. Nobody wants to be there. But we're not going to talk about it here until the deadline passes, because they are behind the scenes working on it. Now, does that mean they're ready to put a shovel in the ground? No. But does it mean they're trying, they're looking, they're talking, they're negotiating? The answer is yes. So we will patiently wait until the deadline. And if they don't, Craig, you're right. Then we jump up and down.
Yeah.
And what's going on?
Yeah.
And then things have to change.
Yeah.
But that's not for a long, that's February.
Yep.
Buddy, that's a long time.
Yeah. Agreed.
I understand because it is his job, but
I agree too.
But Nick pointed it out. The thing that's annoying is like the ticket thing, like, oh, 5,100 and they're not selling it. Like that's not even true. Like it seats 4,600 for NHL and it's sells out. You can like find the statistics for that. So that's the part of it that bothers me. I get it. Like he has to do what he has to do.
Well, they're talking about escrow. They're talking about revenue sharing and all those things.
It's just like, I think I feel like, the Coyotes have kind of been flying under the radar. It's funny. We had Pete and DJ from What Chaos on yesterday, and Sean was giving them shit for not talking about the Coyotes. And I was thinking about it later in the day, and I was like, you know what? I'm fine with them not touching the Coyotes because that means nothing's going on to talk about. Yep. And unless they were like on this crazy win streak and Logan Cooley was popping off, like, I'm fine. not talking about the Coyotes right now. So when, Marty Walsh comes in the news and says all these things, and now it's circulating Twitter and circulating the news, that it bothers me because it's just it's not an issue yet until it needs to be an issue. But I do get where he's coming.
Did you see red?